Hey everybody, Dr. Red here, and we are back with some more Magic Arena. Not so much free to play this time. Us guys getting a little bit frustrated just trying to tweak the starter decks with what I had available on the account. It got to the point where I felt like I was doing you guys a disservice just by making maybe side grades, just very unoptimal upgrades, but we're going to be following a very similar format, but the 1.5 version type deal is going to be probably a lot more min-max than it was otherwise when we were dealing with some garbage that I had to work with. But today we are going to be dealing with both the standard Saproling swarm as it comes fresh out the box and an improved version. So let's see what we have to work with here, of course. Okay, in this case we're dealing with Golgari color, so we're going to be dealing with black and green. As usual, this one's going to be Saproling Swarm. So we're going to be, it's like a token-themed deck with Saprolings. We're going to be swarming the board, ideally buffing them up with some 1/1 counters, going wide, killing them that way. We also have some sack outlets, in which, generally speaking, the individual Saproling isn't worth much, so they're very good to dump, just for more benefit. As an example, we have, let's just go down our list real quick. Fungal Infection, 1 black, -1/-1 till the end of turn. We get a Saproling out of the deal, whether or not it kills a creature or not. We have the Doom Dissenter, which is a 1/1 for 2. It's not great, but it's a decent sack outlet in regards to, let's just say, Costly Plunder, where we can sacrifice the Dissenter, we get a 2/2 zombie out of the deal, and we get some card draw. Vicious Offering, another thing. Instant speed removal, -2/-2 until the end of the turn. If you kick it by sacrificing a creature, -5/-5, so can deal with baby things and some bigger things. Now we're getting to our bread and butter, Saproling Migration. It's a 1 colorless, 1 green, create 2 1/1 green Saprolings. If you manage to have the mana to kick it, you get 4 instead. It's a little bit inefficient to kick, but you don't feel bad if you top deck this late in the game. Deathbloom Thallid, going to be on theme with our Fungus and Saproling. 3/2 for 3, when it dies we get a 1/1 Saproling. You have a Maya Sapherd, 2/2 for 3. When it dies, more Saproling. You can get a theme here. We got a legendary creature in the form of Slimefoot. In this case, whenever one of our Saprolings dies, we're able to ping each opponent for 1 and gain in life. He also has a mana dump built in. We can spend 4 to create a Saproling token with him. Omnivore. As you can see, more sacrifice. Spend 1, we can sack another creature. It gets +2/+2. And on the off chance, or in this chance, with most of our creatures being Saprolings, we also gain some life. Another sack outlet in this case, a little bit off-themed, it's just some graveyard interaction. With us going wide, we have access to the Twilight Prophet, where when we ascend, if we have 10 or more permanents, we get the City's Blessing. And that allows basically to look at the top 3 on our draw phase and pick the one we want. And Poison Tip Archer, whenever a creature dies, every opponent loses a life. We're going to be sacking a lot, trading pretty aggressively, so that's going to be on our end. Rite of Bells and Luck, it's a saga we haven't really played with these much. In this case, it creates 2, for the first 2 turns it's on, it creates 2 0/1 black creature cleric creature tokens. Then it'll create a 6/6 demon token. In this case, you have to sacrifice another creature on your upkeep, and if you can't, it deals 6 damage to you, but ideally we have quite a few creatures. Path of Discovery, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. So that lets you look at the top card of your deck. If it's your land, you draw it. If not, it's basically a scry. You decide to keep it on the top or the bottom. Spore Swarm. You create 3 Saprolings at instant speed, so it's good to do end steps, that kind of shenanigans. Now, one of the big winners in this deck is the Tend to Shoot Dryad. It's kind of your payoff for running Saprolings. It has that same Ascend keyword. At the beginning of each upkeep, you're going to be creating a Saproling, and if you have the City's Blessing, they get +2/+2. So essentially, your Saprolings are going to be 3/3 tokens if you Ascend with it. Torgar. You can make it cheaper to cast by sacking creatures. That's cool. Technically, there's a little bit of tricky shenanigans you can do with the bottom half, where one player's life total becomes half their starting life total. You can heal yourself, you can gut an opponent if they're especially running life gain. Verdant Force is another way for us to get more Saprolings. I'm not too keen on it. It's very expensive to get out. It's a 7/7 body for 8 that does the same thing the Dryad does. Just creates a Saproling, but without buffing them at all. But yeah, then we have our usual lands that we start with. We got swamps, forest, foul orchard, woodland cemeteries. I'm going to slap some style on these salads. And let's see how this deck decides to treat us today. Let's see here. Again, just standard play mode. Don't think it's a good idea for really anyone to be bringing this into ranked. Unless you are currently placed in bronze. At that point, I don't even think you can go down ratings in bronze. So win, lose, no matter what, at least you're going to be getting some benefit at the end of the season. And yeah, sorry about the change of format. I just figured with at least the part where we're dealing with the upgraded deck, you would ideally like, if not all the cards that you'd want to be replaced in this one replaced, at least most of them. Just to see how it changes. See, we're up against Solomon. And let's see what our starting hand looks like. We do have a Dryad. We have a 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 2 mana. We can technically play the Fungal Infection turn 1, if need be, but we'll see. Also, you might hear my dog whining in the background. What's up, buddy? Come on, bud. Come here, Jake. I know this is an audio format, so this is doing you guys no favors, but he's just sad. He's a sad boy tonight. Don't know why. Okay, buddy. So it looks like we're up against some Simic shenanigans here. Play our Foul Orchard would enter and tap, so we don't want to play that when we actually have a play we can make. We're just going to jam out the Doom Dissenter. They might have a Growth Spiral or something of the sort. Yep, so this lets them draw a card, and they just get to put out a land if they have one in hand. Okay, so it looks like we're doing a bit more than just Simic here, folks. Ooh, Reclamation's not a good sign. This lets them basically untap at their end step, so they're never going to be tapped out completely, essentially. They definitely have some interaction. It could be a counter, it could be card draw. We don't know what we're dealing with in that regard. The swing, he's letting that go through, which is nice of him, I suppose. It's a matter of, I really want to get this Dryad out turn 5 if we can, assuming it wouldn't get countered. All depends on what we draw into with Foul Orchard and all that fun stuff, because Litter just isn't great, but body's a body. So what they can do is they can put a stop on their end step, and while this is basically sitting in limbo, they tap all their mana, it untaps, and it's going to be sitting in their pool, so essentially they will have 10 mana to play with at their end step here. They're going to March of the Multitudes, which is pretty terrifying, because this is just, we're on turn 4. Yeah, turn 4, because they ramped, and they have 7 1/1s on the board. It's pretty impressive. What we can do is Fungal Infection at instant speed. Trying to think what other big creatures they could possibly have here. I did make a mistake by playing the Swamp instead of the Foul Orchard, but I kind of am panicking a little bit here. I think we are just going to pass turn. We're going to be able to block with our Dissenter, block with the Thallid, Fungal Infection 1, Vicious Offering another one. It's just a lot of cards to commit, just to stop their singular card from doing anything. Every time they gain life, they can pay 2 to draw a card. And that's definitely going to be happening this turn. So let's see, before blockers, we can Fungal Infection 1 to get at least another blocker out. And Vicious Offering another one to hopefully empty this board a little bit in our favor. And we're just going to block with all of our creatures. Dissenter's going to replace himself with a 2/2 zombie token. Saproling's going to die. Thallid should be fine. Depends on if they have any pump or tricks at this point in time. So in this case, they would have procced Dawn of Hope quite a few times. Thankfully, they only have the mana to get a singular card draw out of it. And if they're running a token deck, we can't assume this for sure, but we can hope that they're not going to be running any large board wipes. And again, if I didn't fuck up with that Foul Orchard play, we would have been able to play the Tender Shoot Dryad on curve here. But we can still get a few more chump blockers out. I don't want to swing in because I'm not sure if they're going to be doing anything at my end step here. Yeah, just creating a soldier token. So they're definitely going wide, so depending on how much luck we can get out of our Dryad, we might be able to go wider. See, they're playing their Vivian. Lets them play all creatures as if they have flash.
I've seen puppies whine less than you.
+1 gives a target creature vigilance and reach. -2, they basically get to search the top 3 for creatures, and they can play it as long as it's exiled. Then they're doing something not dissimilar. They're going to be tapping all their mana they have at their end step. And it's scary because now all creatures have flash, so they're playing some big scary bombs. They can ramp into basically anything with the mana they have available to them. That includes Hydroid Crassuses like that one there. In this case, that's pretty scary because they were able to pay 9 mana to make this a 7/7 flying trampler, which is terrifying if we're going to be completely honest here. Now, Path of Discovery is cool. It's way too slow for what we want right now. So we are just going to whip out this Dryad, and we are going to hope for some just generic removal to deal with this Crassus. I don't believe the base list will have anything that can necessarily deal with it just flat out. So we are definitely going to be on a clock coming up pretty quickly. Thankfully, we did get the City's Blessing. We've ascended all our Saprolings instead of being 1/1s or 3/3s. Downside is they have a full hand and basically unlimited mana. So we definitely should be a bit concerned here.
Have you ever lost a home?
Given their Crassus Vigilance, getting Shalai to give everything but Shalai hexproof, so now we can't even remove the Crassus. I'm gonna be real, guys. This one looks like we're going very poorly, and I'm kind of surprised we're getting matched up with a deck like this. I'm not sure how much of this has to do with just the deck-to-deck matchmaking or ELO matchmaking. Ooh, this is bad. But look, we got a Saproling. That's cool. Oh boy, what do we have here that can save us? No, not even a -5. Enough could kill Shalai this one particular turn if we happen to magically whip this out, but sadly that's not an option. Assuming we're not dead, which we definitely are. Path of Discovery might have been able to save us. But we're just gonna... no attacks here. They have this one in the bag. I do like this play with Reclamation, though. Usually it's used with Nexus of Fates, and you're basically watching someone play Solitaire. It's a bad time. We get this Explorer, get our land. Fantastic. But he's doing some interesting things with Vivian, because normally you can't... as you know, you can't cast creatures, generally speaking, at instant speed. Whereas Vivian breaks that. So he's able to get huge Crassuses really early, and Reclamation stack. So he had multiple of these. He can do that, hold on his end step, tap all his land, untap, tap, untap, and get like some bonkers 16/16 monstrosity. Yeah, let's just try again. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a balanced, a little bit more of a balanced match. Because we really didn't have as much interaction there as I wanted. What we did have, we ended up, I would say, felt like a necessity at the time, but on turn 3, when he's able to get 7 tokens out, you're kind of just clawing for life there. The only thing we had going for us was hoping that he didn't top deck into anything great because he kind of burned his hand, but with how much he's able to regen or draw back up with the... I forgot the name of the card now. It's just no go for us. However, we do have a decent hand here. We can Migration on turn 2, Doom to Center if we're not happy. Probably Migration's our best bet. Gives us more board presence early. Opponent here's taking his time. He's thinking. I can respect that. And Johnny's welcome, so they're probably going to be doing some life gain shenanigans here. We don't have a turn 1 play, so we're more than fine playing the Foul Orchard. May as well get this tapped and out of the way while we can. In this case, there's a card called Ajani's Pridemate. Every time you gain life, it gets a 1/1 counter, which can get very scary very quickly. Sadly, no matter what we play here, won't be able to, I would say, comfortably block the soldier. I'm not sure if I'm too keen on trading both saprolings for it. Oh, there's the pride mate. That's more or less what I expected here. Okay. In this case, it's a 3-3, and after he attacks, it's a 4-4. A matter of... let's see. I think we basic... it's a matter... This is a hard one, because you want to ascend. I'd like to get his extra ways of gaining life Eve turn off. But with the pride mate, we're always going to be able to chump it, unless he has a way to give it trample or flying, which, again, he very well might. But for now, I think we're just going to whip out the Ballad. So unless he does something fancy, we can threaten just killing the pride mate if he attacks with it this turn. Oh, there's another one. This is a good sign. This is real good. This is exactly what we wanted to see here. Yep. This is getting bad. Let's see. It's a matter of if we can go wide fast enough, we can be fine. Especially if we draw into one of the dryads. Multiple dryads even, but see how this goes for us. So we have a couple options. We can whip out Whisper, Blood Liturgist. We can get a Doomed Center out. None of these are going to do anything that crazy for us, but we have some instant interaction with Spore Swarm, which will at least get us the equivalent of 3 bodies out, whereas nothing else will be as efficient in mana expenditure. Got a little bugler out. Of course, it enters the battlefield, triggering a Johnny's Welcome. These guys get even bigger. You can see it can become a problem quite quickly. Let's see, what can we do here? Let's just get our Spore Swarm out sooner than later. Do we try to get rid of this Pride Mate now? It's a bit aggressive of a trade, but... they have a combat trick we can just scoop, but... yeah, we definitely lost a lot of our board presence, but if it got any bigger than that, I don't think there was a way that we could get rid of it. Let's see if we can draw, and we can play this at instant speed, so at least we can block something with it, and then just cast it after the fact. Yeah, we'll have enough mana to do both the Fungal Infection and Costly Plunder, so we can definitely mitigate damage. Double a Johnny's Welcome, double life gain. It's going to be getting 2 counters. We're basically at the point where this guy's going to be unkillable to us. Now, what do we have for options here? Jump here. Block here. Now let's just block. I think what we can do here. Get a -1/-1 counter, so these two will trade. And then over here, we sacrifice that Saproling. Just gotta draw into something that can save our ass, and that's not it, that's land. But we are doing a really good job at drawing into things that can chump block like no tomorrow, as well as trade with their other creatures on the board. Because currently the Bugler and the Mentor of the Meek, if they swing in, trade it with this, that's a big problem, because that is no longer the case, so now we are in full chump mode. Trying to mitigate as much damage as we can. Also a problem, Whisper doesn't do anything for us. This was largely a dead card for us. In the few games I've played before recording, it didn't go quite well. Never quite a creature I'd really want to fetch. Now let's see what we got. We can trade here, chump here. And we can double block here, and he'll only be able to kill one of the creatures there, unless he has another pump, of course. He's probably going to trade for Whisper. I don't really care too much. I'm not going to have the chance to sack creatures to bring one back. Thankfully, depending on what he draws, we have chump blockers for at least another 3 turns, including the one we get from fungal infection here. Technically, Saproling is less value than the 2/2 as it stands right now. Foul Orchard's not doing us any good. The only reason we're really playing our lands here is ideally I want to ascend as soon as our card hits the table. Currently we're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 land on its own. It's not ideal to fungal infection here, of course, but buys us another turn at least. Ooh, a swamp. That's just what we needed too, right? Okay. So we're flooding out a little bit here. We've drawn into 9 lands. They're sitting at 5. Of course, we're going to hold back our one singular blocker. All he has to do is play one creature, and the Pride Mate gets to lethal us, essentially, if we were to be tapped out. But currently, he doesn't have to play. He just hold whatever he wants in his hand. Just keep it going like that. Okay, this is getting a bit excessive here. It's not great. This isn't great either. We have one bit of interaction, that's it. And all that does is buy us another turn. Yeah, he's getting bigger. I'm aware. Surprised he didn't try playing any more creatures earlier, but... As much as I'd love to do it on the Bishop Soldier, that's sadly not an option. No real point. And we flooded out again. This has been fun. We've been having a good time with this. It's great. You see, what I'd really like is a singular win with this one, but I think you guys are at least understanding how this deck's supposed to work to an extent. There's some dead cards I don't like that much. Like that Whisper character earlier, didn't do anything for us. There's even Saproling Lords that just aren't included, or I should say singular Lord, that just aren't included. Like, I'll give you an example. We're just going to hop over to 1.5 now and quickly look at what this deck consists of. Okay, so we got some ramp, because we do have some high-end that we'd love to get into, like this Tendershoot Dryad, fantastic creature. If you're not ramping into your 5 drops, what are you doing, right? We have an Immortal Sun. We're not running any Planeswalkers, so it's not like we're going to be shutting ourselves down, only them. We get to draw 2 cards on our draw step. Everything we cast costs 1 less, and when we're dealing with a wide board, all of our creatures getting an Anthem effect of +1/+1. Fantastic. We get the 4 Dryads instead of the 1 in the base deck. This is the card we are looking for. We want this. We want to get it out. We want to ascend. This is going to be a large part of our win condition. We got 4 of the Spore Swarms. Again, just whipping out 3 Saprolings at instant speed. Fantastic. 4 Yavimaya Sapherds. 2/2 for 3. Saproling, Fungus, Slimefoot. We got an extra couple of those just because the death trigger is great, as well as just burning mana to get some Saprolings out. This is the card they didn't have a single copy of. Each other Fungus or Saproling you get gets +1/+1. It is ridiculous to me that they give you a Saproling deck that's kind of mixed with a Sacrifice deck, and they don't give you a single Saproling Lord. We're running 4, of course. Enchantments, we're running a couple. In this case, we're running 2 fungal plots. You can spend 2, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a Saproling, so any of your creatures that die, at least they're going to come back in some way, shape, or form. You can sacrifice 2 saprolings to gain some life, draw some cards. We got our migrations here, same as we've had before. This is a new one. This one's kind of fun. It's kind of an underused saga, I think. In this case, it's been, at least in Golgari colors, not really replaced. But since it's just green, we can run it no problem. All of our creatures basically get the tap effect like Llanowar does. So if we have like a turn 1 Llanowar, turn 2, we whip out our, what the hell is that spell called again? Saproling Migration, and we get a Song of Freyles out. All of those creatures we played, we essentially have another 3 mana on board. So that same turn, we can get a Sap Herd out. End of the next turn, we get the same effect, so we can get another Spore Swarm out. Something ridiculous. And then to top it all off, all of those creatures get a 1/1 counter and indestructible for the rest of the turn. It's real good. Llanowar to ramp. Duress, in the games I was playing earlier, I was dealing with a lot of control, and we are highly susceptible to board wipes. Our board gets wiped, chances are, unless we have an Immortal Sun resolved or something, we are SOL. Have a couple Duresses in there. Get rid of the Cries. Get rid of the Kaya's Wrath. Get rid of anything that will wipe all of our baby tokens out. Fungal Infection, as before. -1/-1 till the end of turn. Create a Saproling. Spark Harvest is a new one from War of the Spark. It's 1 swamp. You can either spend an additional 4 mana or sacrifice a creature, and it allows you to destroy a target creature or planeswalker. We're still playing a lot of disposable little tokens, so Spark Harvest, very frequently you'll be able to like kill a Teferi with this and just get rid of a little dinky 1/1 token. So we're going to definitely whip this one out. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, in this case, since we are dealing with a little bit more of a premium experience, of course, we do have some fancy lands in the case of, instead of using like the Fallow Orchard or the Golgari Guild Gates, we're using Overgrown Tomes and Woodland Cemeteries. So these are the ones that check lands. If you have a swamp or forest in play, they just enter in as is, or don't enter in tapped. Same thing with Overgrown Tomb. It can enter in tapped, or you can pay 2 life and it'll enter in untapped. So if you need that like this, boom, you got your mana. It's fantastic. But for now, let's see how we do with Saproling Swarm 1.5. Hopefully, we can maybe get a win or 2 out of it. Versus how unlucky we were in the earlier games. So we're up against Ripjaw here. Let's see what we can do. So mana-wise, we don't really have a fast hand here. We have like our Lord, which isn't great. He's not really doing anything. He's just a bear on his own. I'm gonna mulligan. I'm not too keen on this. It's a bit better. We have our Migration, which we can play into a Spore Crown Thallid or a Sap Herd. We can go from there. Land-wise, we have all we need for now. We're definitely going to draw more eventually. So let's just get this done and over with. Drew into a Slimefoot. There's definitely some value there. They're playing a Woodland Stream into a River Sneak. So we're going to be up against some Merfolk Tribal. And we have another Saproling Migration. So we're definitely going to be able to go wide pretty quickly here. Dauntless Climb. In this case, every turn they're going to be able to put a 1/1 counter on a target creature, and this flips as soon as there's 3 1/1 counters on any singular creature on their side. Let's see. In this case, it might be a quick rush down game. I'm not too worried about losing our Saprolings this turn. It's a matter of how greedy do I want to get. We can whip this out. We get 4 damage on the board this turn, which will be 6 next turn when the Thallid can swing. And be greedy and just get 2 more 1/1s out, which can get really buff when we have this guy. But for now, I think we just go for the damage that we can. Let's see. You know what? Let's go a little bit wide before we go a little bit tall. Whatever they play, hopefully we can trade up with it. Another River Sneak, that's good for us. The way that this card works, by the way, is every time another Merfolk is played on their turn, it gets +1/+1 for the turn. Thankfully, that is temporary, minus actual counters are getting put on. So this one's going to be swinging for 5 this turn. Which is a little spooky, but thankfully they've so far gone through quite a bit of their hand. So what we are definitely going to do, we are going to get the Thallid out. Everything here is getting buff, and we may as well just whip out 2 more Saprolings to go very wide. And we are going to swing with everything. They can definitely block, but we trade with whatever they have on defense. Same thing with the Saprolings we have back here. Ideally, I wouldn't want them to swing in until we had Slimefoot out, but we can't afford to be taking the extra damage, at least from the Branch Walker. The River Sneaks can't be blocked. They are what they are as is. So we're going to get hit pretty hard this turn. It's going to be quite a close race. Might not be as close as I want it to because this is flipped, so they're going to be swinging for 10 here if they tap their Winged Temple of Erazka. So we have to block this Branch Walker. They are very close to lethal on us this turn, I think. What could save us is another Thallid would let us swing for lethal, if I'm mathing correctly. Another... we have the mana for it. If we got the Tendershoot Dryad, we should be ascending, because we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would also do it. Sadly, they had the money, the mana for Zagana, though. Let's see. We are going to be running to the issues where we're able to go wide as hell, but as it stands, we would swing, they would block, we would have 6 damage going through, and they're going to swing back for lethal. So unless they do something very questionable, I don't see us having the win here. What we're going to do, let's see, just burn our hand. Another turn we probably would have had it. Let's see what we got here. Damage is all done at the same time. I know this is the last turn we got, so we're just going to be swinging for the fences. All damage happens at the same time, so it doesn't matter when this Thallid dies necessarily. Because as it speaks, we have 5 things going through right now that are all swinging for 2, so if they all went through, cool, we'd be doing 10. No matter what they block, we're going to be doing 8. So in this case, they're going to get down to 1 HP. Which is a lot closer than our other games, but sadly still not a win. You just gotta block 2, my man, and you got this. Easy as that. Sadly, he blocked correctly, though. We do have Slimefoot out, so if he did happen to kill one of our Saprolings, he would have just lethaled himself, but... Off by 1. We're going to hit him with a good game. That is about as close as you can get to lethal without having it, so I'm a little bit bummed out. But you know what? It's okay. I'm not too upset with that one. Get a little bit closer to the daily quest on this account being done. Oh yeah, and in comments, if I make any outrageous misplays, which I guarantee will happen, I'm not great at this, feel free to call me out. I always like learning, seeing what I could have done different. In this case, we're a little bit slow here, but I like that we have X to the Tendershoot, and at least we can duress. It's a play, especially if they mulligan down, and just getting rid of a card early, I don't mind that. Not too keen on them putting it on top, but let's see. Sphinx of Foresight. So they're running blue. They're running Kefnet. He's kind of intimidating. He's a 4/5 for 4. He's able to draw a card if they reveal it in instant or sorcery. They basically get a free cast of it. We're just going to dump their insight. That's not an ideal hit for us, but we're going to try ramping, and we're going pretty slow. And they scried most of their stuff on top. In this case, they were a little bit land light, so I think, yeah, they're probably just going to get a lot of mana fixing done here. Thankfully for us, we're just going to get rid of this Llanowar before it can do anything else for them. The longer we can slow them down from getting Kefnet out, the better. Want to go wide. We don't want them to hit us with any sweepers if we can avoid it. The sooner we ascend, the more likely we are to do okay here. That is another Dryad. It's not quite what we're looking for here. And there's Kefnet on curve, sadly. He managed to draw what he needed. Thankfully for him, he was able to scry all the way up to whatever he wanted. In this case, we're going to Spore Swarm on their end step. Perfect world. We try another, I don't know, forest or something of the sort. Oh boy, this might be bad. I don't know how this is going to pay off for us. In this case, they basically get an extra cast of their finale here, which lets them dig down and find a creature that costs X or 4 or less. So they're going to whip out another Kefnet. Oh no, opponent, I'm sorry. The shame concede. Oh no. Now, sadly, as much as I would love to, I don't think that counts as a win for us. We had a chance. I feel like they were a little bit premature in scooping there, but you know what? I've done it. I've done the shame scoop. Been an embarrassing misplay. Forgot the legendary creature rule, and you're like, oh shit. What do I do? You just run away. It's not ranked. You're fine. Sadly, come 4 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, queues are a little bit long. Find yourself waiting, thinking about going to bed, realizing you try to upload every day between 10 and 12, and you kind of have to get this recorded. There we go, we got Funland too. Okay, this is it's not a really good hand. Let's just try to find some action. We have Saproling Migration. We don't have any of our swamps, but we'll get them. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, we're up against Gruul something or other. Good news, we have a decent turn 3. We can still Spore Crown Thallid. If we draw into a land, we can also hold up Fungal Infection, assuming it's a swamp. We got another Thallid, which, well, not... we're totally getting shocked here, aren't we? Or are you going to grow a Spiral, my friend? You doing some Tamir Reclamation? You holding the shock? A Lightning Bolt? Grow Spiral. Yeah, there we are. Getting another 4 damage here. Worst case, next turn, we can get another Thallid out. They're grow spiraling again, so they're ramping towards something probably big and scary. Not to diminish our own board here, but you know. As far as he's aware, we are mono green. Now, what is he holding here? Could be a counter, could be an Ionize, could be a Sinister Sabotage, Shock, Lightning Bolt, Grow Spiral, another one. Fiery Cannonade. Remember when I said we were notoriously weak to sweepers? That's one of them. Sadly, that one would have been fine if we were able to resolve this Thallid here. In this case, we all would have had like the 3 power and toughness, none of them would have died. So we're definitely playing on the back foot now. Ooh, and we are kind of getting screwed in drawing a swamp right now. It's not great. Hey, there it is. Cool. Now, do we duress them? I think it stops us from Spore Swarming, but I gotta see what they're trying to ramp towards. They're very close to flipping their Escanta here, but... Yep, there's the Sabotage. So sadly, he didn't let me into his hand, but in all honesty, that counter might have gone off on the Spore Swarm either way, so... Flipped his Escanta, basically lets him dig down 4 deep for a non-creature spell, so... Not great for us. Gonna search here at our end step. Oh, he's gonna explode us for 3 actually. Explode us for 3, draw 3. He's probably looking for wilderness reclamation. Do the same thing, end step, tap, untap, blah blah blah. So that explosion for 3 instead will be an explosion for like 8.
I'm gonna hover over you like a dark cloud. You must be accompanied by a parent or guardian to ride the line.
Let's see what we... In this case, for us to cast Spark Harvest, it would cost us... I think we have the mana just to do it flat out here. So we're just gonna swing at his face. And I think we're just gonna try to Spark Harvest. It's gonna pay the balance, get rid of Ral. See if he has another counter in hand.
Don't worry, I won't rain on your parade.
In this case, there is an infinite combo with that Planeswalker in particular. It's not incredibly hard to set up, so it wouldn't shock me at all if that's what he's going for there. Speaking of shock. Another search for his content. In this case, it is a legendary enchantment, but that is different than the land there. So technically, he's fine as is. If he were to flip this card, though, that's when it would let him. It would flip, and he would have to ask which one he wants to keep. In this case, he's better off just getting a free scry out of it every turn and not flipping it. And I do have access to the Saproling migration, but I know he's running probably multiple fiery cannonades. Last thing I really am keen on doing is playing into it, getting another full board wipe. Like this one, we're definitely on the back foot. There we go, he has Tameo to help him look for his combo pieces. And he had the mana to play her, but he didn't for some reason or another. Could be holding onto a fog or something. Another shock, that's fine. Again, he has access to see quite a bit of his deck. I almost feel like we would have been better off conceding. Ooh, this is bad. In this case, what that allows him to do is he gets to his Kanta, generally speaking, on sometime during his turn. All of his lands untapped, so he's basically able to his Kanta multiple times in a single turn. And there he goes, he's fetching the fiery cannonade. Untap, probably some of that mana is going to be going to fiery cannonade. Let's see if he resolves it. He will probably resolve it before Slimefoot lands. Let's see. Or he won't. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. So I'll gain some life, he'll get pinged 1 each. Now he's going to be shocking it. I don't really have much opportunity to use my fungal infection here. So that's why I'm doing it now, because at least I get that extra Saproling out of the deal. I'm trying to think if it would have been better off for me to actually Saproling migration on my end step there. I know he had to actively use Tameo to fetch for that fiery cannonade. Now he's trying to find another Ral for the combo. Is it better for me to hit Tamio with the Saproling and just migration a few more out? Because in this case, all he has to do is... Never mind, he's just going to do that now. He's just going to -3 this Tamio to get that Rel. He probably has the combo pieces he needs. Or is he actually going to uptick her? Nah, he's just going to fetch her that way. Okay.
The storied past holds our future.
Same thing, it doesn't matter too much that he's tapping out here, because the Wilderness Reclamation lets him untap everything.
You can bury your crimes, but your past always comes back to haunt you.
Okay, so he's oh, no, does he have the combo pieces? He's casting Root Snare, which basically starts the stack. And then he's going to expansion the Root Snare. I'm just going to show you the combo. We're not going to make him play it all out because it's a little bit monotonous. And then he expansions that second expansion here. In this case, what that does is his passive is whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. So what's basically going to be happening is this expansion will copy that expansion, which will copy that expansion, which will play another expansion. So we're just going to hit him with the GG because this combo's very annoying to actually go through the minutia of. But yeah. In this case, that's just going to loop and loop and loop and loop and loop until we're dead. So we're not going to force the guy to play it out. He got it off, so all the better for him. Okay, so we're up against Anime Yin Yang. Okay, that's the name. All right. No, Anime? I don't know. It's too late for me to try to pronounce names. Yeah, and I don't hate this one. 3-lander. We have some very early interaction, Saproling migration. Fine keeping it. We have that swamp that was eluding us for a lot of the other game. Looking like it's going to be Rakdos of some way, shape, or form. Firebrand. I don't know if we have that many targets to actually hit with this, so probably just going to get rid of this just to stop it from trading with one of our creatures later. We get a Saproling out of the deal. Whip out a couple more. He is playing something with red, so there is a chance for board clears. I don't know if any Rakdos aggro runs Chain Whirlers, but find out. Thankfully, he's slow playing us a little bit. In this case, this is the first time Song of Freylace has popped up, so we're going to play it. It's going to cost us 2 mana. All these Saprolings basically become mini Llanowar Elves. So we're going to use that to cast Fungal Plots here. No real reason not to. We're not going to be swinging. The only downside is, with their color combo, they definitely have some way, shape, or form to remove individual creatures. They got a Cranko out. Okay. See where this is going. It's a little bit go wide. It's okay, we got a board full of ramp. Do we have any creatures in here? We do not, so there's nothing we can exile with Fungal Plots. And what we can do is just whip out our Tendershoot Dryad right now. Nothing else we need the mana for. That allowed us to ascend, so all of our Saprolings, as long as she's alive, will have +2/+2. And at each upkeep, we're going to be creating another one. Their upkeep, my upkeep, all the fun stuff. We're playing like some EDH with like a table of 5. You can get a lot of Saprolings just busting out. See, they got a Skirk Prospector. I'm not too intimidated. I'm kind of hoping for our turn to come sooner than later. Yeah, you know what? You can do your Cranko things. Put a counter, get some Cranko Goblins. It's fine. You do you, baby. Let's see. You might have a trick here. You might not. I would love it if you didn't. You know what? You've earned this card draw, man. Please don't hurt my Dryad. Please don't. Don't do it. I beg you. In this case, the Skirk allows them to sacrifice other goblins to add some red mana to their mana pool. They're playing Garnet the Blood Flame, and to return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit of an oops. That's fine. I will take that oops. So in this case, every creature we have this turn has indestructible. They're all 4/4, so even on this turn, we're going to be swinging with everything, because it doesn't matter. Everything has indestructible, vigilance. Thankfully, it's going to be the one turn our Dryad's going to be safe. I don't know why they're multi-blocking here, but I'm trying to figure out Garnet. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play her. Let's see. Enters the battlefield, return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere this turn. Other creatures you control have haste. Kind of just don't want them to get any more card draw. Card draw equals removal in my books. Ooh, they're down to 2. And the Midnight Reaper is going to be pinging them for 1 with its own death. So they're low. Trying to figure out if there's any way we could kill them right this instant. Not so much. If we had Slimefoot out, we can use Fungal Plots to sacrifice him and then get some ping damage up, but that's a win. That's what happens when you can get Freylays early and just ramp into your late game. Oh, that felt good. But sadly, this recording's going on long, so I'm going to cut it. Again, thanks so much for watching. Like it if you like it. Comment if you want. I'll try to be replying to most, if not all, of the comments at this point. For now, I'm Dr. Et, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye for now, everybody!